Hello everyone, welcome back to the Plunder Den. In this week's episode, we're going to do something a little different. I wanted to do a reflection episode, so really look at the year that was. As 2021 comes to an end, I really want to spend time talking about my top 5 projects of the year. So we're going to be discussing that. I also wanted to discuss a project that got away from me, and the future of the Plunder Den in 2022. What other things are coming up, and what exciting events are coming up in 2022 that the Plunder Den is going to be a part of. All right, so let's take a look at some of the pieces of terrain we're going to be discussing in this episode. And I picked them mainly because they either move me forward as a painter or as a crafter. And so I really wanted to discuss certain pieces. Some of these are new, and some of these projects are from actually from my Instagram page. And I really wanted to discuss them as well. So I looked at the entire year. So really this channel has been running for about 6 months. And prior to that, I did most of my tutorials through photos actually on Instagram. My Instagram page is the Plunder Den. So if you're interested in looking back at some of these projects and the construction of them, you can check those out. I have that, all of them still on my Instagram page, the Plunder Den. Check that out. All right, so that was my first one, the stone bridge I just showed you. That's my first project. My second project is this destroyed building. So those are my first 2 new projects, really. And this is my very first Blood and Valor kind of dedicated project. So of course, all these terrain pieces can be used for other games. But that one I had Blood and Valor in mind when I built it, right? It's more of a destroyed building, but it can be used for Dungeons and Dragons. It's a destroyed Tudor-style building. We can say a dragon slashed at the back of it. So there's lots of potential there. And then also, this is another older project here. This is the church. So the church is my very first project that I built in 2021. I built it because I wanted to complete my Port of Plunder. That's what I was working in the previous year, 2020. And that was the very first thing I wanted to get done. I wanted to get that out of the way. I had this idea of doing kind of like a home field advantage for each one of the factions in Blood and Plunder. The Port of Plunder would be the European factions. And then I kind of did the jungle terrain, which is my next project I'm talking about. So I'm not going to show you them all right now. We're going to go down to the table and we're going to show you all the different jungle terrains that I built. This is just a smaller one here, a smaller sample. But I built them because I wanted to make a home field advantage for my native factions, right? So I made this home battle map for them. So that's another piece of terrain we're going to be covering in this video. And then also, we got to cover ships, right? There is a lot of ships that I built this past year, but this one's my favorite. So let me just dig it out over here. I kind of have all these train pieces and ships around me here. But it's the 6th rate frigate. So this is a beautiful model created by Firelock Games, and I really wanted to highlight it on this video. It is my all-time favorite ship build, and I learned a lot from building this ship, so I want to spend some time discussing it, and we can go further in depth. And if you're interested in how I built and paint this ship, I did post pictures on, as I mentioned, on the Instagram page. You could check that out on there and see how I built and paint that ship. The other thing I want to show you is a project that got away from me. So it's another beautiful ship model by Firelock Games. It's this French light frigate. So as you can see, sadly, there's only half a ship here. I did the bottom half. I easily get distracted. I got starting on that project, and then I wanted to do the jungle terrain. I had all these ideas, and I never went back to it. So I do plan on completing that in 2022, and that's one of the projects it's my absolute projects I got to complete this year. I really want to finish that French light frigate. But the good thing about it is I've kind of learned how to build my ship so you can fold up the mast on it. So I have an opportunity now, because I haven't started this ship, to make it portable. And we're looking at that further and further. And that's leading into the next conversation of what's upcoming in the Plunder Den. So believe me, I would love to attend events, and that's my full intention in this upcoming year. Some things are slowing us down from being able to have events, at our local game stores, and I do want to do game player profiles up here in the Plunder Den, and definitely go on the road. So I do have a plan in place to go to Adepticon this year. So I'm really excited about going to my very first Adepticon, and really taking the Plunder Den to Chicago, where it's near Chicago, where the Adepticon is. And remember, I'm in Canada, so that's the border I got to cross, and definitely there'll be some interesting things, adventures there. But I'm hoping it's at later in March that things are okay by then. And I mean, if I went today, I could go, but restrictions are changing daily. But that's my ultimate plan, is to be at Adepticon and be a part of that event, which I'm really, really excited about. Also, what I'm super excited about, of course, is Fire on the Frontier, which is the next expansion at Firelock Games is releasing. That'll be in early January, and I'm going to be doing my first unboxing. Never done that before, so we're going to do that, and then spend some time building and painting those miniatures, and on this channel, and show you all the new products that are coming out for Firelock Games to expand on Blood and Plunder. Then, of course, the big one, the big expansion is Raise the Black. So moving the timeline further in Blood and Plunder, there's a whole lot of new plastic models and a lot of customization, which I'm super excited about. I'm all about customization, and this will give me an opportunity to actually work in that area. I was customized my minis and my ships, and so I'm really excited for that to come out. So that's coming out in 2022 as well. So these are all the exciting upcoming events that I got to look forward to in 2022, and I hope you guys will come along with me. So that leads me to, I want to thank everybody in this community. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel, taking the time to leave comments and push the like button, and subscribing to this channel. I really appreciate it, guys. It really drives me forward to continue doing this project, and keep working on this channel for you guys. All right, so that's it. That's all. Let's go down to the table. Let's check out some of these cool projects, and let's go a little depth, a little further into them. Okay, I just wanted to mention before we get started here that, of course, in the new coming year, there'll be lots of new terrain pieces. I did mention that in the intro, but we're doing lots of new terrain projects this year in the Plunder Den. All right, so this first one is the bridge, and I'm just kind of giving you an overview of all my minis on it. And what I'm most proud of this particular project is being able to move the minis anywhere on the bridge. That's always the complicated part of doing a round bridge on a flat tabletop, is being able to move your minis on it. I also expanded my knowledge, I would say, in painting stone. I really wanted to have that blackened, weathered, and a dead plant life on it, and really did some new paint techniques I've never done before on this particular project. Really happy with the overall results, though, and look forward to using it in many battles, in Blood and Valor, Blood and Plunder. All right, next up is the church. This is kind of one of the very first projects I did in the beginning of 2021, and I mentioned in the intro to complete for the Port of Plunder that I was building. And I had kind of saved the church for last. It was kind of a more complicated build. So I really just wanted to give you an overview of it. So I'm just looking at the kind of the graveyard in the back. And I really made this church modularized. So I'm going to show you in a minute here. So I just open up the top here, and you can put minis in the top of the tower here. I'm just showing you how I built that. I just kind of made it smaller on the inside, and it kind of sits nice like a cap in there. So I really did make this modularized. I wanted to be able to take it apart. And I had ideas of maybe using it for smaller pieces of church. And so I'll show you here in a minute. I'm going to pull it apart, all the different sections. Could even use that as just a little house or something. But I wanted to be able to use it as individual pieces as well. Maybe that tower could be, a lighthouse or something, right? Something else other than what it is. So I'm just pulling the whole thing apart. And really, how I get it to stay together on that base. So kind of talking about basing my terrain. The base is part of the overall construction and how I keep this church together. So I'm showing you just, briefly that you could do an alteration. You could do a different variation of this, having those pieces. I've kind of fiddled with it a little bit and doing different, different patterns or different layouts for the church. You could just use the tower. You could just use the back piece, and just use it for whatever you want. You could add it onto something else. And really, you could just really play through this base on its own. So I'm just showing you, I kind of made a track system. And that's kind of how everything sits in here nice. So everything's custom fit to fit in that track system. And that's how it stays in place when I put it all together. I kind of didn't want to glue this together because I want to be able to play inside of it. And of course, like I said, I mentioned I want to be able to take it apart and use it for other pieces of terrain. So it's very versatile, the church. You can use it for all sorts of different things. It's hollow in the back. I did actually build a platform in there. I didn't really show it here in the video, but you can slip a tea light in there, and that's how you get the front window lit. All right, so moving on to the third piece. This is my Blood and Valor kind of destroyed building for at World War I game. And I kind of just showing you the glass. So I've never done glass before, and this was kind of the first time ever doing that. And I kind of got the idea just looking at some old packaging and kind of it kind of did the part. I mean, I had to add a little paint to it and scratch it up a little bit with a hobby knife. But it made good broken glass, sorry. And then I'm just showing you this pile of rubble. So I kind of individually made all those pieces, and I think I would continue doing that in the future. It just looks more authentic having individual different parts and pieces. Twisted and destroyed. Really, I haven't done a destroyed building before. This was the first time doing it. I think maybe in the future I probably would have done a more destroyed floor because it would make more sense. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Ultimately, I do want to play minis through it, and I always consider playability when I build my terrain. I was really happy with that one side. It looks crushed. Kind of built that compartment on its own, and I really liked the way it looks. And all just a little furniture in there. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. All right, let's move on to the fourth project, which is jungle terrain. So you'll see there's a bunch of different pieces of jungle terrain here I built. And as I mentioned in the intro, it was meant to be for my native home field advantage map, so my battle map. But jungle terrain can be used for a lot of things in Blood and Plunder. So it was something that it was a handy piece of terrain. And I have to say I've used this terrain more than anything else that I've built. I use it in a lot of my battle matches, and it has very good playability, easy to get your minis through it. I really love using all this jungle terrain. So I just showed you the stone gate. This is the ruined temple. And then, of course, I had that other larger temple in the center that I did in a painting tutorial. and then the small piece that I did on there. So really there's 4 parts to this that I built so far. Now that larger temple was actually going to be on a base too as well, but it was always going to be mobile, so you can move it off there. I haven't finished that base yet, and hopefully maybe in the upcoming year I can finish the base for that. It was kind of actually going to be part of an arena. The Aztecs and Mayans had these arenas, and usually they had a kind of a temple or something on the end of it, and that's usually where the king sat. And I really wanted to capture that. It would be a ruined, of course, arena, and just showing you the top view of all the terrain. Plus, I managed to get a lot of little native minis done. All right, moving on to the last project here is the 6-rate frigate. So I'm really happy with this. I'm just showing you that flag. I hand painted those flags and created them on my own. Really was happy with the Union Jack there. It looked pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And overall, the paint job came out really good on this ship. I was really happy with the color choices I picked. Gave it a real good, I would say, an English feel to it. I was really happy with the choices I made there. And overall, I did some different techniques on here when I painted this ship for the first time. I painted ships prior to this, but I think this is the first one where I did the whole thing in dry brushing, and now people are very familiar with my dry brushing. But a lot of the intricate details on the back of the ship. This is a beautiful model by Firelock Games. It's just absolutely beautiful. It was an absolute treat to build and paint. And I've had some epic battles already with it, and I have epic battles in the future. Just showing you some of the cannons that I painted. There's medium cannons. So I spent a lot of time on this ship. This is one of the first things that I did at the beginning of 2021. I was actually working on this the same time I was working on the church, and it really, to me, it was like a must build. I wanted to get this one done. The sails I created all on my own. I was pretty proud of those. I did learn some things from this one. As you can see, some of the edges are curling. I didn't paint the back of them as much as I should have. And I figured that out in later builds. And, the Spanish galleon and the war sloop have probably improved on sails. But you learn from each one of these projects, things that worked and things that didn't work. And I'm really happy overall how this ship turned out. And just going to do one more pass through it. All right, so next project we're going to talk about is a project that got away from me. This is the French light frigate. And as you can see, it's, half built. And I was really happy with the paint job on the bottom. I used some different colors on it. This is the first time I really put yellow ochre onto the deck, which I'm super happy. I plan on probably painting an entire flute with just that yellow ochre kind of wood color, golden look to it. I think that would look fantastic. All right, everyone. I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year, and I will see you in 2022. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.